This video is about plate tectonics. Before we proceed, let us first describe the Earth's lithosphere. Earth's lithosphere consists of layers, the crust and the upper part of the mantle. The lithosphere is said to be in constant but slow motion. The crust is a variety of solid rocks like sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous. It has an average density of 2.8 grams per cubic centimeter, and its thickness ranges from 5 to 50 kilometers. The crust is thickest in a part where a relatively young mountain is present and thinnest along the ocean floor. There are two kinds of crust: the thicker but less dense continental crust and the oceanic crust, which is relatively thinner but denser than continental crust. Because of the difference in density, continental crust floats higher than the oceanic crust. The entire lithosphere of the Earth is broken into numerous segments called plates. Plates are large pieces of the upper few hundred kilometers of Earth that move as a single unit as it floats above the mantle. The plates are in constant motion. As they interact along their margins, important geological processes take place, such as the formation of mountain belts, earthquakes, and volcanoes. There are 7 relatively large plates and several smaller ones. The plates move very slowly but constantly, and this movement is called tectonics. Thus, the theory of moving lithospheric plates is called plate tectonics. Before we study more about plate tectonics, let's discuss first one of the consequences of moving crustal plates, which is crucial in studying plate tectonics, and that is an earthquake. An earthquake is the vibration of the earth due to the rapid release of energy. The places on Earth where most of the earthquakes originated, or some mountains and volcanoes were formed, mark the boundaries of each lithospheric plate. As mentioned earlier, each plate is slowly moving relative to each other, causing geologic events to happen along their boundaries. There are 3 distinct types of plate boundaries, which are differentiated by the type of movement they exhibit. These are the divergent plate boundary, the convergent plate boundary, and the transform fault boundary. Studying plate boundaries is important because along these boundaries, the formation of the lithosphere is happening. These geologic events have a great impact not only on the environment but also on us. The first type of plate boundary is termed divergent boundary, wherein plates move apart. The formation of rift valleys and oceanic ridges are indications that the crust is spreading. Most divergent boundaries are situated along underwater mountain ranges called oceanic ridges. As the plates separate, new materials from the mantle ooze up to fill the gap. These materials will slowly cool to produce a new ocean floor. There is also occurrence of earthquakes when plates diverge. Examples of divergent boundaries include the boundary between the African plate and the Arabian plate in the Red Sea, the boundary between the Pacific and Antarctic plates, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, made up of the boundary between the North American and Eurasian plates in the North Atlantic, crossing Iceland, the South American and the African plates in the South Atlantic. When a spreading center develops within a continent, the crust may break into several segments. The breaking leads to the formation of down-faulted valleys called rift valleys. It is also associated with the rising of hot materials from the mantle. The rift valley increases its length and depth as the spreading continues. At this point, the valley develops into a linear sea, similar to the Red Sea today. The second type of plate boundary is called convergent plate boundary. Convergent plate boundary is present when two plates collide. There will be formation of mountains, volcanoes, and/or trenches. Tsunamis and earthquakes are also experienced when two plates converge. Let's take the case of the Philippine plate and the Eurasian plate. You will notice that the two plates are moving toward each other. This is an example of a zone where plates collide. Examples of convergent boundaries include the boundary between the Eurasian plate and the Indian plate at the Himalayas, the boundary between the Nazca Plate and the South American Plate along the west coast of South America, converging oceanic crust and continental crust. During the convergence of an oceanic plate and a continental plate, the denser oceanic plate slides under the continental plate. This process is called subduction. Subduction is a geological process in which the edge of a lithospheric plate slides underneath the edge of an adjacent plate. From this animation, the denser oceanic crust undergoes subduction. The mantle is hotter than the crust, so the subducted crust melts, forming magma. The addition of volatile material such as water will cause the magma to become less dense, hence allowing it to rise and reach the crust once again and causing volcanic activities on the continental leading plate. For the oceanic crust, one important geologic feature is formed, and that is the trench. Also called submarine valleys, ocean trenches are the deepest part of the ocean. The trench marks the line where subduction begins. Another subsequent effect of the continuous grinding of plates against each other is the occurrence of earthquakes. The subduction of the plate can cause earthquakes at varying depths. Most parts of the world experience occasional shallow earthquakes, where the focus is within 60 kilometers of the Earth's surface. Of the total energy released by earthquakes, 85% comes from shallow earthquakes. Meanwhile, about 12% of energy originates from intermediate earthquakes or those quakes with a focal depth range of 60 to 300 kilometers. Lastly, the deep earthquakes in which the origin is more than 300 kilometers to 700 kilometers below the Earth's surface. Converging two oceanic crusts. Like the first type of convergent boundaries discussed, converging oceanic plates will cause the formation of trenches, and these trenches will become sources of earthquakes. Underwater earthquakes, especially the stronger ones, can generate tsunamis. The Japanese term for harbor wave, tsunami, is a series of ocean waves with very long wavelengths, typically hundreds of kilometers, caused by large-scale disturbances of the ocean. The leading edge of the subducted plate will eventually reach the mantle, causing it to melt and turn into magma. The molten material will rise to the surface, creating a volcanic island arc parallel to the trench. A volcanic island arc is a chain of volcanoes positioned in an arc shape, converging to a continental crust. When two continental plates meet head-on, neither is subducted. The crust tends to buckle and be pushed upward, causing the formation of mountain ranges and other highlands. When two continental plates converge, a collision zone is formed. Unlike the other two types of convergent boundaries, subduction ceases for this particular type of convergence. No trench, no volcano, and no island arc are created during this process. Instead, what is created is a large group of tall mountains called the mountain range. Also, the collision of continental plates is associated with shallow earthquake activities. The third type of plate boundary is the transform fault boundary, where plates slide or grind past each other without diverging or converging. Most transform faults are found on the ocean floor. They commonly offset active spreading ridges, producing zigzag plate margins, and are generally defined by shallow earthquakes. The best example of transform fault boundary is the San Andreas Fault, which is bounded by the North American Plate and the Pacific Plate. Although most transform faults are located within the ocean basins, there are a few that cut through the continental crust. An example of this is the San Andreas Fault. The immediate concerns about transform fault boundaries are earthquake activities triggered by movements along the fault system. Hotspot. A hotspot is an area in the mantle from which hot materials rise as a mantle plume. High heat and lower pressure at the base of the lithosphere facilitate the melting of the rock. This molten rock material, called magma, rises through cracks and erupts to form volcanoes. As the tectonic plate moves over the stationary hotspot, the volcanoes are rafted away and new ones form in their place. This results in chains of volcanoes. Scientists suggested that there is a source of molten materials from the mantle called mantle plume that formed the volcanic island chains. As the Pacific Plate moves, different parts of it will be on top of the mantle plume to receive the molten materials, thus creating the volcanic islands. Continuing plate movement eventually carries the island beyond the hotspot, cutting it off from the magma source, and volcanism ceases. As one island volcano becomes extinct, another develops over the hotspot, and the cycle is repeated. This process of volcano growth and death over many millions of years has left a long trail of volcanic islands and seamounts across the Pacific Ocean floor. That's all for now. I hope you learned something today. Please try the interactive game related to this topic. Click the link in the description. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to help us create more educational videos. Thank you so much!